connection between Roman Catholicism
the different
and
roots,
paganism.
different similarities and connections with Roman Catholicism and how it's tied to paganism. Now, right here, people from, I believe it's the South African area, the Quetzalcoatl, if I'm saying it correctly, that tribe, they have this thing called Lord of Life and Death in the Aztec and Toltec culture. And it says, Catholic images depicting sacred hearts, which were also used in pagan mysteries of Osiris, Vishnu, Baal, etc. So the same symbol right here that the Catholics keep using is the same thing that's used and depicted in the ancient hieroglyphics and statues. Coincidence? I think not. Now, I really feel like all the evidence I've been showing is pretty much, indisputable. But if it's not for you guys and you still need more clarification, this should definitely be, your confirmation right here. This right here is a pine cone. This right here that this gentleman is holding is also a pine cone. By the way, if you don't know what the representation of the pine cone is, the pine cone staff was a symbol of Osiris. The Egyptian Museum in Torino, Italy shows this depiction of it, people. You see these two serpents coming around it, but then you see the pine cone in the middle. The pine cone is a common symbol on images of Hindu gods in India. See it right there, people? This is a symbol used in many ancient cultures, but not just ancient cultures, ancient pagan cultures. Not that this stuff was, practiced within the house of Israel or practiced by the Messianic Jews. This is something that was practiced by pagan cultures that took on certain other deities and other symbolism that wasn't represented or used by the house of Israel. So like I said, why is the Roman Catholic Church using these symbols if it's leading to other cultures that are pagan and not of the one true God? It just doesn't make sense. And like I said, I know it's going to be those hardcore Catholics. Point I'm getting at, people, is if you consider yourself to be a Christian or you consider yourself to be a follower of the Bible, you shouldn't be using pagan symbols to represent your deity or our deity, whatever situation may be. Then also right here, you have the Mexican god holding the pine cone and fir tree, symbols of rebirth and the sun. All pointing back to sun worship, moon worship, paganism, people. Over here you have Bacchus, the Roman Greek god of drunkenness and revelry, with the pine cone staff. Then you have the largest pine cone in the world and the court of the pine cone at the Vatican, people. By the way, this is the pine cone at the Vatican courtyard. Like I said, you gotta ask yourselves, why are they using the same symbolism that pagans are using? It's just, you can't make that, sound reasonable or logical as a Christian or even biblical at all. It doesn't make sense. So somebody at the Vatican knows what is going on, what they're doing. And they're pulling these stunts for certain mischievous reasons, people. And whether the public wants to admit it or not, whether Catholics want to admit it or not, there is something very fishy going on at the Vatican.